What if the most notorious men in history didn't die in a ruined Berlin bunker on April 30, 1945? What if, instead, Adolf Hitler slipped through Allied dragnet, boarded a U-boat, and vanished into the pampas of Argentina, alive and free? Today, we plunge into declassified CIA files, eyewitness accounts, and post-war rumors to ask, did Hitler really die in the bunker, or did he escape? Welcome to Matt Knows. If you love exploring the greatest mysteries of World War II, hit subscribe and ring that bell. Drop a comment below. Which side of the debate are you on, death in the bunker or great escape? Let's ignite the conversation. By late April 1945, Soviet forces were storming central Berlin. Hitler, isolated beneath the Reich Chancellery, faced total collapse. On April 30, Allied intelligence learned of his suicide by cyanide and pistol, news confirmed by Soviet troops who found charred remains in the garden above the bunker. The cornerstone of the official account is the Soviet autopsy. In May 1945, investigators recovered a jawbone fragment and dental bridges in the garden. Hitler's dentist assistant Kathy Häusermann and dental technician Fritz Ekman positively identified them as Hitler's teeth, and Eva Braun's, later corroborated by American odontologist Rita Son-Nace. Yet conspiracy theorists argue the Soviets manipulated the evidence. They point to alleged inconsistencies in Braun's dental record and question why only fragmentary remains surfaced. Some suggest Stalin's KGB suppressed or faked documents for propaganda. Popularized in books like Grey Wolf, The Escape of Adolf Hitler, 2011, the Escape to Argentina narrative holds that Hitler boarded a U-boat on April 30, fled to the coast of Patagonia, and settled under an alias. Witnesses claim seeing him in Buenos Aires as late as 1955. In 1955, a CIA memo describes a source, of unknown reliability, claiming Hitler lived near Bariloche, Argentina, until at least January that year. The agent Clement Citron obtained a photograph of a reclusive German man said to be Hitler. But these CIA notes never rose above rumor. The agency never judged the source credible enough to pass to higher command. In 2025, France 24's fact-check confirmed, declassified CIA documents contain no definitive proof of escape, only unverified leads that died on the vine. Across 3 continents, over 100 post-war sightings surfaced: Argentina, Paraguay, even Tibet. A 1946 Miami Beach hotel clerk swore she saw his familiar mustache. A Swiss farmer claimed a German guest in the late 1950s told him he'd served as Hitler's chauffeur in Patagonia. Historians like Richard Evans have dismissed these tales as hearsay. No photographic or documentary trail supports them. Even the Argentine writer Manuel Monasterio later admitted fabricating details in his 1987 memoir Hitler Murió en la Argentina. Smithsonian magazine notes that Hitler's dental remains match 1944 X-rays taken by his dentist. The meticulous German dental records make forging such evidence a very difficult arrangement to fake. Argentina's President Juan Perón famously provided refuge to fleeing Nazis, Joseph Mengele, Eichmann. Its vast pampas and sympathetic networks made it plausible. Yet no credible residence records or border control logs place Hitler there. Logistically, Hitler's escape would require bypassing tight Soviet and Allied patrols around Berlin, commandeering a sub, and surviving months at sea. Experts argue this is near impossible without detection. Conspiracy thrives where official answers leave shadows. Hitler's death marks one of history's definitive closures. Doubting it allows us to reopen the mystery, feeding thrill and speculation. Eyewitness Otto Gunsch and Heinz Ling provided consistent testimony of suicide pact. Allied interrogations in 1945 cross-checked their accounts, reinforcing the narrative. Let's examine the so-called Citron photograph, a grainy half-profile. Experts identify no resemblance stronger than chance. The agency ultimately shelved the file, citing insufficient corroboration. Both East and West had motives to twist Hitler's end. Soviets promoted his bunker death to claim victory, Western agencies chased shadows to ensure no hidden threat. None produced ironclad proof of survival. Simon Dunstan's Grey Wolf posits Hitler fathered 2 daughters in Argentina. Yet genealogical and immigration records reveal no trace of these women. Historians label their evidence fantasies lacking primary sources. Berlin civilians recall the coroner's report and public announcements in May 1945. No eyewitness claimed to see Hitler alive after that point. Occam's razor favors the simplest explanation: Hitler died in the bunker. Yet in popular culture, the more sensational escape theory endures, sometimes overshadowing historical consensus. In 2025, Russia released KGB files affirming the suicide narrative, complete with dental photos and aide testimonies, further debunking escape rumors. Online forums light up with heated arguments. Some insist the CIA's files prove everything, others mock the gap-toothed photo. We've scoured Reddit's r/Ask Historians and top YouTube channels, opinions still swirl. Criterion: bunker death, escape to Argentina, forensic dental proof, eyewitness testimony, archival documentation, plausibility of logistics, cultural resonance. Almost 80 years on, the question remains more emotional than evidentiary. Evidence heavily favors death in the bunker. Yet the escape myth endures, reminding us how history and legend can entwine. Now it's over to you. Which case convinced you? Comment bunker or escape below. Smash the like button, subscribe for more deep dives, and share this video to spark debate among history buffs worldwide. Thanks for watching Matt Knows, where the past meets the question mark.